Hey guys, and welcome to the third episode of Minecraft Plugin Coding 101 with Gyllie. In this third episode we are going to have a really short brief about what Bukkit events are, and then we are going to use two of those events to link our commands we already made, like the message command and the heal command, to work when a player right clicks a sign. Now before we start with that, I'm really going to say really quick, I'm trying to get my videos shorter than the 40-minute one as episode 2 is. But yeah, it can be hard sometimes to explain what I want to explain in short time, but I'll do my best. So yeah guys, sorry if they still are pretty long, but I'm doing my best to get them as short as possible. So on to the subject of this tutorial. Bukkit events are events that Bukkit uses to tell your plugin what is happening in the world. So you have like multiple categories in those. You have like player actions, block events, entity events, world events. You have many events, like for example, when you have like player events, you have like the player logging in, the player leaving, the player dying, the player chatting. You have so many events you can do. There's like tons of events you can use. Sometimes it's like a little bit hard to know which event exactly you need or what the name of the event is. So I suggest you just, when you need an event and you don't know which one it is, just Google it, say like Bukkit, and then what kind of event you need, and I'm sure it will give you whatever event you need. So let's start with making our two events on how to link our commands to signs. So you can just, if you want, you can put it like underneath here, but I suggest you that for listeners you make a different package and a class file for each listener. That's just easier if you start making big plugins to like keep track of what you need to code where. So let's make a new package. Just right click the package we already had, easier, so we don't have to type it all again, like this, and we'll just do .listeners or .listener, whatever. We can still refactor it, rename, let's put it as after, there we go, listeners. So for this sign clicking event we need two events. So the first one we need is sign create. So we'll just call it sign create event. You can call this whatever you want. I just prefer to call it the same as what it is. So yeah, there we go. Now, as you saw here in our main class, we set extends Java plugins. So this class knows it's like a Bukkit plugin. To make the class know it's going to have like code that will be run when events are happening, we have to like add implements a listener here, like this. Then of course it's going to give us an error. Oh, just get the org.bukkit.event listener imported, and there we go. Next thing you always need to do in each listener class is declare the plugin. So for that you just do public, oh no capital there, Gyllie, public static plugin, just like this. So we have the variable called plugin. Again, just import the org.bukkit plugin. There we go. And then we have to call a method that is just public and then the name of your class. So public sign create event, exactly the same, capital sensitive. And then we need to get the main class into this thing. So we're just going to do main class instance, like this, open the brackets and say the plugin equals the instance we just got calling this event. So again, just quickly import main class, there we go. So what we need to do, like when you are going to tell the main class which events are running, we will just call this method, and then it will know, oh, there's an event handler running. So that's that. Now let's make our first listen event. So to make the first event, each event has to start with an @ event handler, like this. Then you do public void, just a name for the event, on sign create, for example. And then here you have to say which event it exactly is. For this one we need the change event, just so we have it in a variable, and there we go. So again, just import org.bukkit.event one here, And then here, of course, also the sign change event. As you can see, it's categorized in the block events. So there we go. Now we can get a few things. The first thing, of course, we will need is the player. So player equals event.get the player. There we go. Sometimes it can be called different because, like, for example, if you have that event, it can be called like event.getKiller or event.getWhoClicked, for example, in the inventory click event. So sometimes you have to look for a short second what exactly it is being called. So now we have the player, we can manipulate the sign. So what we are going to do is we are going to make a sign saying on the first line CMD and the second line whatever command we want to be using with that sign. So to create a sign, we don't really need to do it. You could just like make an event being listening to whatever command is on the first line, but just to have it, make it a good look, we'll use some color. So we're gonna get the oh, I forgot something. We still have to get the no, never mind, I was correct. So if the event would get a line, and we start at 0, like you always start at 0. 0 is also a number, so you don't start with 1 counting in Java, you always start with 0. So if the first line, or line 0 in this case, equals ignore case, and we're just going to say CMD like this, this has to run. So equals true. There you go. So if we create a sign and the first line is CMD, we have to set it to true. Then we need to check, of course, if line 1 is like the second line isn't like nothing, because otherwise it will have some problems. So if event.getLine 1 equals nothing, equals false, then we can do whatever we want. So if it's not that, we'll just cancel the event, set cancelled true, and then say the message to a player, send message chat color.red. You need to add a command on the second line. There you go. So that way the player will know he forgot to make a command on the sign. If he did not forget it, we'll just set like the first line to a nicely colored line. So event, that's right, event.set line 0, and we'll just use the gold color, color.gold plus, and use capitals so it always looks better. So there you go. That's just really quick. You can do whatever you want in here, but this is just a quick example on how you can manipulate signs when they are created, what a lot of plugins do. So now we have this one, we'll just leave it open. So create the naked one, and that is of course sign click event. There you go. Again, same thing, implements listener public static plugin, plugin public sign click event main class. Oh my god, Gylie is typing it, failing again. Why do Gylie always fails at typing? Plugin equals instance. There we go. Import them all. Yes, or but bukkit.plugin. And then add event handler public void on sign click. This isn't an event that is related to signs. This is just the player interact event. Player interact event, because this event will be called when the player clicks. Whatever it is, left click, right click, clicking a block, clicking a sign, this is what happens when a player is clicking. So again, we need to get the player equals event.get player, and then of course we need to see what block is clicked. So therefore we do if, not of, if event get action. This will tell us what exact action the player did, equals action dot right click. You can see it says right or left click. If I go back, see it says left click, right click, physical things that happening. So yeah, that's whatever actions you can happen. So we need the right click a block, because you are clicking a sign, that's a block, and you need to right click it. So if it's that, we have to see what block it is. So event.get block, click block of course, dot get type, to see what type it is, equals material dot sign post, or of course you can have a hanging sign, so we have to check for that as well. Dot get type equals material dot wall sign. Then we have to continue, otherwise it just needs to do nothing, because you can click whatever block you want. So now we have that. We can do another check if we really want to. We can do if we've got the if event.get clicked block dot get state instance of sign. We can also use this to check if the block is a sign. Can import org.bukkit.block sign. There we go. So now we can say sign equals sign x event dot get clicked, get clicked block, come on, clicked block dot get the state of the block, because if you just get the block, it will like remember like what location it is, what block it is, how it is facing and stuff. But that's not what we need. We need to get like what is on the sign, and that's like stored in the block state. So therefore we need this event, this line. So now we have the sign, we can go and check whatever is on the first line. So if let's add a space, just if sign dot get line, again line 0, equals chat color dot red, no, we didn't do red, we did gold, plus cmd. If that is true, we know it's a command sign we are creating or clicking, because we already created them in the other event. So if that is happening, we need to get whatever command it is. So string command, I don't think it's like that, string, no, it is with capital, string command equals sign dot get line 1. So now we have the command. We have to like make the player execute element. So player dot execute, no, that's not how you do it. Player dot chat command, I think it's like this, I'm not sure anymore because I don't use this a lot, and then player dot send message chat color dot green command executed. Actually, let's put this like above it, so it first tells you it's executed, and then it will tell you whatever the command is saying. So if, for example, you did a command on the sign that doesn't exist, it will say it afterwards. So this is what we need. So now this is done and this is done. We still have to tell our main class what listeners our plugin is using. To do that, we go in our onEnable, in our onEnable function, and we need to get our plugin manager. So plugin manager, pm equals bukkit dot get plugin manager. There you go. So again, just import org.bukkit.plugin manager. There you go. So now we have our plugin manager. We have to register our events. So you just do pm.register events, and now we are going to call the small thing we put on top of each listener file. So now we're going to call these in here in the first arc. So new sign create event, and then say this, because we have to send the main class, and then just another this to say this is the main class where the plugin is running. So you can see first arg is the listener, second arg is what plugin is running, and of course this is the main class, so this is the plugin. Again, we need to import those. So as you can see, I just press Ctrl Shift O, and now it imported this one. So I can show it like in the next one. Register events, no sign click event. This, because we need to get the main class to this thing. There you go. So if I now go over, you see it asks to import it. Just press import, and there you go. So this should be fine. Let's export again and let's test it out if it's working. There we go. Yes, it already exists. Just go over it. Get our tutorial server running again. And then quickly wait till it started. And then we'll see if it is working. Yes, allow. Okay, server started. Direct connect. We'll just do local host. There we go. So let's just quickly go to creative so we can get some signs. Doesn't really matter much. Sign. So okay, let's just start with just a random thing. You'll see nothing happens. It just keeps whatever we put on it. Then if we put cmd and leave the first line empty, it will do nothing because we need to add a line on the second command. Then if we do cmd and for example we'll take our message command first, you will see, yeah, it's kind of dark, you can't really see it, but it says in gold cmd and then message. So now if we right click it, there you go, command execute. Okay, we did forgot, we need to add the of course we need to add like this because it's a command and there is no like slash in the command. There you go. Just do a quick reload and now it should be working. So there you go, it says hey player. So now if we do the same thing with cmd and for example the h command, you healed yourself. So there you go. Then we'll just take a quick whatever. Okay, that was a guardian. So if you take for example just the help command, which is not a command from our plugin but whatever command, you click it, it will still execute it because it executes whatever command is made. If you take for example a command that doesn't exist, cmd just call it test, you'll see unknown command. So as you can see this works. Let's also demonstrate like wall signs work. cmd heal, this one we made as well. See, there we go. So you can add a lot. You can also try to like maybe even do if you want to like make a sign to just heal one player, so heal GyllieGyllie, which was one of the commands would work. There you go, it will execute it as well. As long as it stays on the first line, it's the second line or line 1 in the code, it will work. If you want, you can like change the code to say that line 2 and 3 are also part of the command, and then you just need to say in the code here when you execute, when you get this, you just need to do, for example, like this, so add a space, then plus sign dot get line 2 plus space plus sign dot get line 3. Oh no, not 2, 3. There we go. Just export it again. Next, finish. Yes. Okay. Reload again. So now we know it. This was like on one line. Now we'll just do cmd heal and then GyllieGyllie on the second line. That should still work. There we go. Healed GyllieGyllie. So this is a really short tutorial on how to make signs, make any command being executed when you click them. So I hope you guys like this tutorial. In the next tutorial we are going to have a quick view on how to use config files. So thanks for watching, guys. If you liked, press that like button so I know you guys liked it. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them in the reactions down below, and see you all in the 4th episode. Bye guys.